Everyone, it is open enrollment time, and many times we don't think of this as being part of our financial planning. And I just wanted to do a real quick, there's no B-roll on this, no exciting little pop-ups because it's timely and I'm finding that we need a little bit of information about this out there right this second. And I get questions all the time. Well, what's important about financial planning with my open enrollment? Well, first of all, uh, your healthcare expenses matter, and which plan you choose matters. And the idea of being overinsured is not real appealing because you probably pay too much. You don't have the money then to spend on other things, either now or for retirement. And yet you want to have the right amount of protection. Remember, when you're looking at your life insurance benefits, that those only are in place until you are no longer employed. If you're not employed with that employer, those will go away, except possibly if there's a COBRA option, which tends to be very expensive. Same thing with your disability insurance. Remember, you may want to have something outside of your employer benefit to make sure that stays in place and to guarantee your insurability. Because if something happens and you become uninsurable and then you lose that job, you may not be able to get either disability insurance or life insurance later on when you're not at that company anymore. So keep those things in mind. They're very, very important. Also, remember, if you have access to a health savings account because you utilize or have the opportunity to utilize a a high deductible plan, that is the single most important and powerful retirement savings tool that you can have. Because first of all, the money that goes into that health savings account can be invested, generally speaking, and for the most part, and most plans allow for that. So you invest that money, let it grow, and frankly, don't use it. Most people set aside money in that health savings account and use it for whatever. The idea is, don't use it unless you really need to. It's a great to have as an emergency fund, but it goes in before you pay any taxes on it. And then it comes out to pay for healthcare expenses, qualified healthcare expenses. And those are fairly liberal, the rules on that. I mean, anything, even over the counter things, if you want to go get a massage, things like that, it can be used for that. And then at some point in the future, as you get older and maybe you've accumulated many, many years of maximizing your health savings account, all that money can come out tax free. And at one point or another, later on down the road, you can take it out for even things that are not healthcare related. But I challenge you, as you get older and as you get into retirement, what's your thought? Do you think you'll have enough healthcare expenses to use that up? Most likely the answer is yes. So pay attention to those decisions that you make here during open enrollment. The next question that we get is around Medicare. And here at Guardian Rock Wealth out of West Palm Beach, Florida, we get this question quite a lot. I'm 65. I still want to work. I still maybe need to work, but I'm 65. What do I do? What do I do with this whole thing? I keep getting these scary Part D. I have to enroll or I'm going to have this major penalty. Well, first of all, if you're working and you're part of a qualified drug plan through your work, you don't have to worry about any penalties that you might be, getting those scary letters about from the government. You don't have to worry about that. Okay. Now, it is a significant penalty if you do not have a qualified drug plan and you do not sign up for the Medicare. That is a really hefty penalty. So do make sure that you've talked to somebody. Either we'd love to talk to you here at Guardian Rock Wealth or someone who's a qualified Medicaid licensed professional, and they can help you through that decision of whether you need it or not. But don't get too scared. If you're working, you're probably part of a qualified drug plan. Now, and the same thing goes for the Part B. Like, as you get 65, if you're still enrolled in a plan at work, you don't have to worry about that. However, you may want to consider the idea that it might be a lot cheaper and the coverage may be very, very similar, if not maybe even better, to go on to a Medicare or Medicare Advantage plan, even if you could participate in your employer plan. Typically, we see people spending on their portion that the employer doesn't pay of the healthcare plan. Sometimes it's $300. Sometimes it's $200 per pay period. It's $400 a month. There are Medicare Advantage plans out there that you can get for significantly cheaper out of pocket. So you might want to consider that. Again, I'm just saying might, something to consider. Again, talk with someone who's familiar with Medicare. I can put you in touch with somebody. I can help you potentially myself. There's a lot of people out there that are qualified to kind of guide you through that and guide you through the process of selecting a plan that's right for you. So the question always comes up, must I enroll in part A and B? And the answer is there are things that you do have to enroll in when you're 65 if you are not working and you are not part of a qualified plan, or if, say, you're on the Obamacare healthcare marketplace, you then have to look into Medicare once you turn 65. And you can do that 3 months prior to turning 65 or 3 months after you turn 65, but you need to call Social Security Administration or go onto the website and register. And yes, there's a cost for that Part B. I believe for next year it's 180, but it goes up every year, just like all healthcare plans do. But these are the things that you need to think about when you go into your health savings plan and all of that stuff that you do during open enrollment. So I hope that's helpful for you today. This is John Browning with Guardian Rock Wealth at guardianrockwealth.com. If you'd like some personal investment advice, reach out to us at guardianrockwealth.com or text the word life to 321-421-5213. Thanks so much for listening in today, and be sure and take a look at some of the other videos out here. I hope those are helpful as well.